Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a review on the iBayam dual brush markers. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but anyways, here we go. The pack I purchased had 30 markers for $11. This is a steal. This is less than 50 cents per marker. Obviously a lot better of a deal than the Tombos and pretty much any other marker I've used. So pricing wise, these are winning for sure. So these markers have a very fine tip on one end. This is great for planners, bullet journaling, things like that. And then the other side has a small brush tip, which is comparable to the Faber-Castell brushes, if you're familiar with that. So my first impression is that these brushes are very nice. They are very pigmented and vibrant colors, which I like. The tips are a little bit more flexible than the Faber-Castell or the Tombow Feuds or the Pentel Sign. So they are more flexible for a small brush, but they're pretty easy to control because they are a smaller tip. I like that you can get very thin upstrokes and in comparison a thick downstroke for this marker. It's a little bit more of a variation than some other small brushes. Here's some real-time lettering at a different angle to show you how much the tip bends, and you can hear how much noise it makes when you write. The markers are numbered 1 through 30, so I put them in order, and now I'm going to do a swatch test of all of them for you right now. So here's a quick swatch test of all 30 colors. Some of them are very light. I couldn't even see them in person, so if you're not seeing them in the video, that's why. They're very hard to see. A lot of them though are very vibrant, beautiful colors, and I like the wide variety of colors that were included in this 30 pack. They didn't seem to repeat colors at all, so that was very nice. And here's a close-up of all 30 colors for you. As the lefty, here's the most important question. Do they pass the smudge test? Moment of truth. They don't. I am not too bothered with this though. You can see the first couple letters didn't smudge at all. It was just those very last ones. So it seems like they do dry pretty fast. And this is on smooth paper, so it probably dries faster on regular copy paper. So next I'm going to compare the iBayam markers to some other small brush markers that I have. First up is the Faber-Castell small brush markers. The tips are the exact same size, but the Faber-Castell is a lot more firm than the iBayam ones. The Faber-Castells also have a smaller variation in the thick and thin strokes. Next is the Pentel Touch, and these are a lot more firmer than the iBayam ones, and they are much smaller, although they do have a good variation in the thick and thin like the iBayam ones do. Next up are the Tombow Feuds, both the hard and soft tips, and these are smaller and firmer than the iBayam ones. I will say that the Tombow Feud Soft is kind of comparable to the iBayam ones. The iBayam has the greatest variation in the thin and thick strokes. Like you can get very thin upstrokes and very thick downstrokes with this one. I also wanted to point out that it comes with a DIY color card. I probably won't use this, but on the back side of that, it does show you how you can reverse the brush tip, which is very helpful if they dry out or they get frayed. You can just flip around and you essentially have a new brush. Now for the moment of truth. Are they worth it? My answer would be yes. You get 30 markers for $11. They are a wide variety of colors, very pigmented. The tips are reversible, so if they dry out or fray, you can swap them and have a new brush essentially. With as flexible as the tips are, they are still pretty easy to control compared to some other markers I've used. For a small brush marker, I really like them, and I think these might become my go-to small brush. They check all the boxes that I need them to check, and I don't really have any issues or complaints with any of them, except for the few that you could barely see on the paper, but that was just a couple of them, so I'm not really too bothered by that. So if you're looking for a new small brush marker for bullet journaling or your planner or just for everyday lettering, I think these markers are worth giving a shot.